Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad to hear this Tuesday morning. Hope everyone had a great weekend, and it's not extended weekend. 3 days off is really nice, and it's glad to have y'all back. It's a situation where we've got all kinds of things going on. Can you believe January is over halfway finished? I hate to say that because we got some warm weather coming too. But last week now, I don't know about you, but we went through some firewood, but it was a fun time doing it. Gail and I, we just enjoyed our fireplace so much last week, but we may not burn much this week. Let's look at the main weather. It looks, like I say, warming up and all. Let's look at the Monday moon forecast. We didn't get to do yesterday, so today we look like a full moon Thursday night of this week. So we're waxing up pretty strong, and it's coming in. Now remember, I've talked to some hunters. In fact, last week I talked to two different hunters talking about they had some deer coming in a while back on the full moon, right? And they'll do this right in the middle of the day, because what happens now on a full moon, they'll feed at night, and then, early in the night they'll feed like 10-ish or 12-ish, and then the rest of the day they're going to get hungry sometime during the day, so they're going to go eat again. So always be aware of that on these full moons. That's happened. That's come from two different eyewitnesses that saw it on the game cameras. River readings, I say we'll do those tomorrow. The tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Not strong tides. We have a low this morning at 7:38 and a high this afternoon at 4:05. Our water temperature at the beach is 60 degrees even, and also the moon, I already got a moon forecast. The marine forecast is coming to south-southeast at about 6. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's say January, right in the middle of January. We're right in the middle of the thick of hunting, and I know a lot of y'all are out in the woods now, so I do want to remind you the Big Buck Contest down at C&G. Ronnie called again the other day. They've got some great pictures coming, bucks coming in. They got pictures of them. I'll get down there pretty soon and show you some of the pictures, but remember, you get a free mount from either Watford or Coy Jordan, two great taxidermists here in the Panhandle. Speaking of doing good things for our fellow man, I've mentioned this before, I'll mention it again right here. The attention hunters, share the harvest. If you've got plenty of meat in the freezer, share it. Please donate a portion. Those in need, you can do a whole deer or a hog, and it don't cost anything. And they'll process it at a deer shack, and it's sponsored by Florida Hunters for the Hungry, which is Steve Shea and his group over there, the Deer Shack, the St. Joe Foundation, Panhandle Engineering, Roberts, Deseret, and local Christian ministers. That's a good thing right there. So let's keep that in mind. Okay, this is a picture here. This is where I would do the fishing report on Friday. This is the redfish I was showing you. I just wanted to show you this paddle. It's made up in, and I used to collect paddles. I don't have that many anymore, but I've always had this thing about paddles because I can remember my granddaddy making paddles. This was made up in McMinnville, Tennessee, which is not too far from where Wendy and her family live. So I'm going to try to get Whitney to call those people up and see if they're still making them. Maybe go over there and do a show for us, or a little portion of a show. You just don't have that many paddle makers anymore. People don't make their own paddles. So, okay. Well, I mentioned this on Friday's fishing report. This is Brock Meyer, who's turning out to be a good fisherman. Knows a lot about this. Let's see. This was he took it during lunch break. Okay, he caught this during lunch. Good job, Brock. Put it on Panama City fishing page. That's a nice pompano. And let me go and talk about this. People are surprised. You mean we have pompano here? We've said this over and over again. The pompano, there's a certain segment of pompano that will winter here. They don't migrate. They don't, they're fine, and they'll stay here. They'll follow those currents in and out. They don't really go south and north, so they just go out a little bit and come back in. And there are pompano here. There's not that many as compared to the spring run and the fall run, where whole schools are sort of moving down. But if you have an opportunity, you can still catch some. You won't catch as many, but they're out there. Okay. Next picture. Here's another Tom Gurley picture. Okay, this is down at St. Mark's National Wildlife Refuge. Isn't that a classic picture? That would go in a magazine right there. But you see what kind of nests they build, and they love these old dead trees like that, and they sort of get up high and sort of look over the place. That's what you call the eagle's eye view. Okay. Now the photographer to this really knew what he was doing, because this is Winston Chester's photograph. We had a sunrise the other morning. I forget what morning it was, but I just clicked real quick on it. They don't stay that color long. You got to get it quick. But I'm not going to enter that in a contest. Now you don't have to strap the boat down, but it helps. I don't know the details on this. This picture was posted, but I just wanted to again remind folks about keeping the boat. Make sure your boat and trailer, as we start getting into early spring, make sure you have everything checked out on it. I wouldn't pull a boat that big, that fast, but that'd be a neat story to know what was happening there. Okay, you go on the FWC website and sort of check their calendar on some things coming up pretty soon, and they have a virtual fishing clinic, so you can get anything on that, and for kids, a schoolyard wildlife, beginning birding. Okay, they got that, and what I wanted to get to, here's some more stuff here in February next month. Okay, some youth hunt, a mini virtual saltwater fishing clinic, if you can get those set up. Okay, but then, all right, one more I want to show you. The one I wanted to show you right here at the bottom. How about this? Youth hunt, deer and hog, muzzleloader only, down in Liberty County. That's in Teloja. So you have to register. But what a great opportunity here locally, here in Panhandle, and that's a beautiful place down there. And those folks that's doing it, they really know what they're doing. So if you get a chance to want to take someone to shoot a hog, or maybe get a good shot at a deer, muzzleloader only, that's a good opportunity there. So, and we'll talk more about that. That's the youth hunts and all. Okay, so I want to talk about that. Also, I have a post here. I got a letter, an email from, from J.B. Hilliard. I want to read it because it reflects the attitude and all of so many of us. And remember, I showed Billy Brown's video, last Thursday, I believe, and he said, "Great show today. Thoroughly enjoyed the show today on the fellow up in Georgia." Well, actually Alabama, but that's close. Who is, in fact, they're real close to Georgia. Who is managing his farm for quail. He's really put a lot of effort into educating himself and putting it to work on his property. I just love stuff like this, and to know there are people out there who care about conservation and improving hunting and fishing resources. Over here in Walton County, the speck and red fishing has not been all that good for a good while. This is a good report now. It's very spotty. Normally, I work the fishery every winter, but speckled trout quality has been way down for several years, as you know. You go catch 30 or 40, and you are lucky to get a keeper. So this winter, I'm working on river catfish and teaching myself from forums on YouTube videos. Not good at real hot water, but it's down again, so I'll be out tomorrow after a week at the house. It's just been too cold in early mornings for my 83-year-old bones. J.B. Hilliard from the Bent Rod Fishing Club in the Funiac. Thank you, J.B., for talking about Billy Brown's conservation effort, and also for giving us a good report. And I want to echo what he's talking about over in Choctawhatchee Bay. It's the same. I hear that over and over again. Folks are catching a lot of speckled trout, but not a lot of keepers. And I don't know what the reason for that is, but that is a prevalent all the way from South Apalachicola Bay. When Bill and I go, most of the fish we catch are undersized. The vast majority of them are undersized. So it is like that in all three of our bay systems. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Glad you're with us today. Hope you're getting started for a great day and an enjoyable week, and especially getting a chance to enjoy the outdoors here in the Florida Panhandle. Let's take a look at this. Got another email. Y'all are so good about sending interesting stuff to me, good stuff. This is from Mike Fitzgerald over here in Panama City Beach, Winston. Please add me and my wife Sandra to the pickle jar. On today's show is a very interesting program on the quail deer. That's one of Billy. I got this in the other day. But in the bottom line, again, I got a lot of comments on Billy Brown's video. I received a fishing drone for which I plan to use on the beach. Once it warms up and the Pompano running, you're invited for a drone fishing trip. So listen, he gave me this little site right here to set up, to look at, and I was just really fascinated. Let me see if it'll show up. I use it. I don't. Okay, here we go. Right, we're showing right here. I'm gonna have a talk through it. It's going pretty fast to start with. We're gonna slow it down. Fishing drone. Now, this one is special. The drone industry has just exploded, and the development and what. Look, this is waterproof, and that's the big thing about it. It's got the 4 props on it. So you start looking at all the things you can do with it. Okay, you can drop. Okay, somebody in distress, you can drop them a cushion. Okay, how about trolling? But you won't have a breakaway line now if you're trolling. So it's called a Gannet Pro. So anyway, let's slow it down. And okay, so you can see the development of it. Okay, you can attach things to it right there at the bottom. And it talks through the video, but I just want to talk through it myself and see how the big thing. Look at there, that's got a fish on it. And of course, you can put your cameras on it, but for surf fishing, folks, it'll revolutionize. Look at that bait right there. Now you got to be able to drop it off. Now you're talking about catching big redfish and all. Look at there, he's got get it on the water. Got your cameras on it to go over there. I'm just interested to see if you can pick up some pompano schools. I know you can pick up redfish schools. It'd be big, close to the surface. The engineering and design of this is pretty strong. Now, Mike is going to experiment with it. I've already told Gail, I sort of like this thing. This is like a nice little toy here. I'm not really adept on these, but even if it crashes in the water, he's going to be able to come back up. And it brings it back to you. Just think all the things you can do with this. See if you get you can attach different cameras you can attach, from my understanding, and that little control board. You know, the young people know how to use. I'll get my grandson to help me operate it. Isn't that cool? So Mike's going to be practicing with it, and hopefully he'll have mastered it by the time. But like I say, dropping buoys off or just dropping things off, I can see this saving lives. Seriously, all lifeguard stands at the beach now should have something like this, because seriously, I really haven't given it much thought, but it could be strong. And there they are surf fishing, taking the bait out. This would be good for the deeper bait out there in redfish and all. And different signals. Gannet Pro is the name of it. Gannet Pro. I don't know. I don't know what the price is, but I'm sure they're well made. Jeff, you know anything about these? You know, Jeff's a drone expert too. He has a drone. Okay, it comes back to you. I like the idea of it coming back to you. The sky's the limit. There's surf fishing right there. Okay. I need to tell Gail. Okay, that's it. You can get a his and hers. I have 2 of them there. But anyway, I really think that is good. And you stop and think, drones. Remember we talked about it several years back. And I was really talking about the idea of having it at a tree stand and, flying over different areas. You still can do that. I haven't seen much video on it, but if you're in a tree stand and you had different paths coming into your feeding area, I know the ones you see is fine, but what about the field next door and if they're coming and all? And I've always thought you could, when the drones first came out, that was my first thought about drones helping outdoorsmen was in the hunting scene. And then I thought about, even in openings, especially now after Hurricane Michael blowing all the trees down and everything, how in openings where you can see things. And during the rut season, when the bucks are walking, during the middle of the day sometimes, if you have 40, 80 acres, 100 acres, you can just get there at a gate and just fly the thing around. I've always felt that's my first feeling when I saw the drones. And then the next thing I thought about was what they put in here was about dropping the buoy for someone in distress, about getting out there and just dropping it close to them before someone can get to them. This particular one, like I say, Jeff does it in his, in his camera work and doing commercials and all. You see a lot of drone shots different people do, and it's very prevalent in some of the commercials you see. So it has, a multitude of uses. What I like about this is it looks like it's waterproof. So Mike, keep me posted on it. Even hits a lot of times. Those early when they came out, hit the water, they sort of shot. But this one looks like it's obviously waterproof because it hit the water several times. So we're going to check it out. I love little innovative inventions like this. And speaking of drones, we were addressed at a board meeting the other day. Their classes, Gulf Coast has a class on drone management. We're putting how to operate drones and drone use in the high school curriculum now at different schools. I know other counties are doing some of the same thing. And the future for drones is just unlimited, because you stop and think. And what really brought it into light, I think, was when we had the pandemic, about how they started delivering things to people just dropping off at the front door. You stop and think, we just didn't have enough drones to do it. But in the future, I would think that they would be geared toward, having every area where a drone can actually drop, especially medical supplies. And I always think about insulin, and because I think of that because of Whitney. And Whitney's type 1. I know some of y'all out there are type 1. And basically, type 1 folks, type 1 diabetes, you cannot live without insulin. So if Whitney does not have a supply of insulin, they'll pass away, they'll die. It's as simple as that. And it really, Wendy and I talk about it at times. The drug industry, we don't know. When you get insulin, I didn't know this, of course, until, and I know it's off the subject a little bit. When you get insulin, they put an expiration date of 3 months on it. And I just have this feeling that I think it'll last longer than that. But the drug companies know they can keep a constant income coming in from the insurance companies and all on insulin. I feel like, if we can develop a vaccine in a year, I feel like insulin can last longer than 3 months. So anyway, I didn't mean to get off on that, but a drone, when people get in trouble, a drone can drop things through them. So that's the future of drones. So Mike, thank you for sharing that, and we're going to keep up with the drones in 2021, especially on fishing. Let's take a break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, folks. Let's look at the fishing game time today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. We're looking at this morning 346 to 546. We're wrapping that one up, but this afternoon 406 to 606 will be a good time to get out in the stands. Let's add some names real quick. Get them coming in at a regular basis. Ethan Walding, okay. Ethan Walding, Chris Walding, Charles Sweat from Parker, Sandra Fitzgerald, Panama City Beach, Mike Fitzgerald, that's one we got the drone footage from, Jaron Aguan, Southport, the Regadio family, they won a couple of them last year, Toon Regadio, Honey Regadio, Southport, Emis Regadio, Joe Regadio, and Ernie. And like I said, they live around the corner from me up there. When we're riding my bicycle, I get to see them. They've got a couple of houses there, and they got a good little community of just good family folks, and always smiling and waving, and enjoy seeing them. Stacy McDougal from Lake Victor, along with Mark Stafford and Callaway. Okay, I think that's enough for now. We'll be drawing soon. And by the way, if you have some things, if you have a company or something and want to give, like Los Angeles, like to give a gift certificate or something, on occasion, you don't have to do it every week, and you just give a hold of us. We'll give you, some advertising on it. We'll give it away. We'll give things away, and not just on Friday, sometimes on Tuesdays or something, okay? So we got the names added. I also want to mention, I got several questions asked. Several people asked the same question when I showed Billy Brown's video last Thursday, was what was the diameter of the pipe for his predator control? And at first, when I replied to the first one, I said, I think it's 8 inches, but let me check with Billy. And Billy said, no, it was 10 inches. The diameter of that pipe that goes in at 45 degrees is 10 inches. He said you can even put them up to 12 inches if you've got some big coyotes or something. So keep that in mind. It becomes a choice. You have your property out there, and like he said, back in the days, we'd go, every time we go in the woods, we'd be squirrel hunting, but we'd also be looking for quail, just quail all over. And when the predators came, we just didn't, just finally almost don't have any. So you got a choice of having quail and turkey and all that, or having coyotes running around eating all the little ones. So it's your choice. I prefer to have quail and turkey, and I think so do most of y'all. So that's just something to do. Also, speaking of quail, Bill and I have talked about it. He talks to a lot of people about it too, and I fairly well know, what's going on with quail, because I've just always been just intrigued with quail. And one of the things, when you go to quail hunting now, and we're the same way, you have to sort of put it, plant the quail and put them out there, and then you get the dogs. You still get the same feeling of the dogs and all, but it's not the same as being scared by a big covey jumping up. And then, you put out 50 birds and you only bring in 35, and well, you got 15 left. And you say, well, they're going to stay out there. They don't stay out there. They don't have any defense mechanism. The hawks the next day are picking them off. The coyotes the next night are picking them off, and they're gone within 2 or 3 days, what people are telling me they have these farms. Now there's a process now, and Billy's talked to this guy, he's out in Texas, where he actually, and it makes a lot of sense, he's got a quail, the young quail, when they're first born, in a cage, and then he has a wire fenced in area over here, like 8 by 12 or something. And they'll venture out there, and the predators, he's out in the woods, so the predators come into the fenced in area, and they'll run back in there. So he's training the baby quail, when danger comes, run back in there to shelter, like, up under things and all. So it's not in the DNA yet, but they're beginning to understand now what danger is and running back in. In the past, all the pen-raised quail, they've been raised in a pen 24/7, and they just get on wandering around. That's why we lose them after they've been planted. So that's interesting there, and so you can start purchasing maybe some trained quail that's trained to get away from danger and all. Anyway, I didn't mean to get off on that, but I've got some more pictures to show you. I'll show you some tomorrow. But one thing I want to talk about real quick, these tackle boxes. Remember the Mr. Tackle Box? I've got a monthly subscription to it to give away to y'all. Well, I can't give it away because we can't come by the station to pick it up, so they're piling up on me. But I was looking, we're going to still give them to y'all sometime, but I opened this one this morning, and look, just to show y'all, we're still getting these on a regular basis. Look at that. That's some good stuff. So we'll be giving these away soon. That looks good. Huh? Y'all mind if I keep this one and this with it? That's it. And look at some of the other stuff in it. Like that, Z-Man, and it's all different brands and all. Okay, so anyway, we'll be giving away the Mr. Tackle Box soon, all right? We're going to some hooks. I got to wrap it up. Y'all have a great day. Do something good for your fellow man. Enjoy the great outdoors, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.